Beautiful morning to you, and I'm delighted to welcome you to Newspaper Review on High Impact Television. It's Wednesday, the 31st of March 2021, and of course, it is the last day in the month of March. I trust you've had a beautiful month so far, because it's been amazing. We are being joined by Honorable Buhari'S Jaji, a political analyst and public affairs analyst who joins us via Skype from Abeokuta, Ogun State. Good morning, Honorable Jaji. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Good morning, my sister. Good morning, Nigerians.
It's good to have you. All right, so let's delve into what we have quickly. Let's talk about the NARD, National Association of Resident Doctors, planned strike, which is to commence tomorrow. Now, we know this is not the first time they're talking about a strike or even embarking on a strike, asking for the federal government to meet their demands. When this particular information on the strike to embark on tomorrow broke, how did you react to it?
Well, thank you. It's quite unfortunate that the resident doctors, will be commencing their trial strike as stipulated. I think government needs to really do something and make sure that we don't allow brain drain to continue in this country, because one of the reasons why we are having brain drain is because the welfare packages of workers, most especially health workers, doctors, etc., are not, well up to expectations compared to what they earn in, developed countries. Mr. President is going on the medical tourism. There is nothing bad if, Mr. President can look inward and see what, they could be able to do as a government to the medical sector of Nigeria too. Most of those doctors that are, is going to meet there too are likely to be Nigerians. That has all the necessary facilities, medical tools to operate, to really carry out their, official duties. If we can develop our own health sector here too, there won't be any need for any medical tourism. And on the same manner, doctors must be answered. They must, meet their demands so that they don't, go on this strike they said they wanted to go on. It is the, common masses in Nigeria that will suffer if this, strike should commence.
Okay, talking about common masses suffering with the effect of this strike, I was just going to ask you, now we know that if these doctors embark on the strike, the masses are the ones that will feel the heat of it because they won't have people to attend to them. So besides embarking on a strike, what other measure do you think the National Association of Resident Doctors can embark on at a time like this to have their demands met?
Well, quite unfortunate that in tried to exploit and happen. So I really wanted to reach their point.
Okay, we have a bit of a network challenge there, but we'll have Buhari'S join us in the course of the review. Before we move to the College Times, we have another analyst, Dr. Adedayo Kayode, who joins us via Skype to shed more light on social issues happening. Good morning, Dr. Adedayo. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Me.
Dr. Adedayo, thank you for joining us on the show this morning.
Yes, thank you for having me. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, well done.
Okay, now let's talk about the big issue happening in Nigeria at this time. The president's medical routine, which he traveled to the United Kingdom on Tuesday, coming at a time when the NARD have said they are going to embark on a strike on Thursday. What's your reaction to this?
What I'm saying is, as far as I'm concerned, in the past years, we have been having leaders across the world coming to have medical tourism in Nigeria. So what has happened to us? Why can't we as a nation be responsible to ourselves? Why? When you are now saying everything you want to do, you have to go abroad. Everything you want to do, you have to go abroad. Then what happens to our doctors here? And no wonder. You see, most of our doctors, brilliant ones, even traveling out of the country. And then you now see some other ministries now talking about brain drain. Why would there be brain drain? What effort are you making or have you been making to develop your health sector since all these days? That is my own cruise. I'm not saying the president should not travel out for whatever, because definitely he knows that if he stays there, he has not provided enough facilities and infrastructures that will take care of his health. So why will he not travel? But my question again is, what has been happening to the humongous amount of money that we have always been budgeting to Aso Rock Clinic every year?
Okay, talking still on this issue now, we are aware that just for the year 2020, the federal government budgeted 414.5 billion naira for the health sector, and for the year 2021, they budgeted 547 billion naira. Now, the National Association of Resident Doctors have also made claims that even the COVID-19 hazard allowance that was supposed to be paid to them was not paid. Do you think there is a breach in proper communication between the NARD and the federal government? Because at the time, the federal government said they had met their demands, and now the NARD is saying the federal government did not meet their demands. Do you think there is a breach in communication, or what thin line do you think we're missing there?
In communication. It is about some snakes, some baboons, swallowing all those money that have been budgeted to that particular ministry. Just as it's happened to some missing money. Yes.
Dr. Adedayo, I would like to butt in there now, but let's move away from that a bit. Now, we had a statement by Garba Shehu saying the president did not have to delegate power to his vice president, Osibajo, saying he could operate from anywhere he is. What do you think about that?
Is the president a president of Nigeria or a president of United Kingdom? Number one. Number two, whose constitution did he swear to uphold? Number three, on what authority is Garba Shehu talking of? Is it from our Nigerian constitution that this president has sworn to uphold? I'm sure they will never want the president to hand over to Osibajo. You know why? Because all of them are jostling to take over from the president come 2023. And they know that by the time they give it to Osibajo, he will still prove his mettle the way he did the other time. Remember when the president was out of the country the other time and he was meant acting as the president? You could see the whole thing that he did. Foreign exchange was coming down. He was able to go to the southeast and south to go and quench all the security breaches there. They know if he's been handed that leadership seat now again, it will improve on his performance, it will improve on his status.
Okay.
Which they can now say to take over come 2023. So for president to also do that, listen, for president to also do that, where is the National Assembly?
Okay, Dr. Dayo, now. Dr. Adedayo, let me come in here. Let me come in here now. Still to continue this conversation, we have Honorable Jaji also on the line. He's joining us now, and I would like to also have his opinion, and I want you to also let us hear what he has to say on that issue. Honorable Olarewaju Jaji, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
We're talking about the statement made by Garba Shehu, how he said the president does not need to hand over power to Osibajo and he can operate and rule the country from wherever he is. I would like to get your opinion on that.
Well, I don't think that the case that the House around the president should be there to take up officially. We have power enough to transfer to the president. It shows that there is a lacuna somewhere else. So I don't want to agree with Garba Shehu. We have to follow due process in this process.
Honorable Jaji, I sincerely apologize. We'll have to end the conversation with you. There's a bit of audio challenge there. Sincere apologies. Now, coming back to you, Dr. Adedayo Kayode, you were talking about the president and the leadership Osibajo. Please kindly continue.
Yes, all I'm now saying is this. What is our supposed to do as regards stipulations of the Constitution? When the president should leave the country without having notice? I mean, they're not supposed to be stipulated like that. Let them involve the necessary sections of the Constitution. Because the Constitution stipulates that when the president is not around or is incapacitated or in whatever form, the vice president should take over. So is Garba Shehu now saying he's going to be the acting president till the president comes back? Or is he saying now that the Attorney General of the Federation is going to become the acting president till the president comes back? Or are they going to announce my name?
Okay, don't you think this is coming because the president is expected back into the country by the second week of April, and it seems like a very short period, and it's according to him, it's not long enough for delegation to take place. Do you think that could be the most probable reason why that statement was made?
Even if it is 1 minute, even if it is 1 minute, there can't be a vacuum in governance. Vacuum must never exist in Asahok. Somebody must be in charge. Somebody must control the affairs of the country. So, even if it is 1 day that the president is going to be out of the country, he must hand over appropriately to the vice president. And may I seize this opportunity to call the National Assembly to wake up.
Okay, Dr. Adedayo, before we wrap up this conversation, let me quickly ask you, now, do you think, besides, we know that the NARD has talked about strike a couple of times. They've even embarked on strike a couple of times. Now, going forward, with the way things are at a time like this, we know that the masses are the ones that are going to bear the heat if these people embark on the strike. Is the strike the way forward? If no, what other measures or what solution do you think the federal government can put in place? That's as much as we can take on the review this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Major thanks to our analysts. We couldn't continue the conversation, but we hope to, we'll do continue the conversation some other time on major issues that are happening in Nigeria. Thanks to you as well for joining us on the show. And sure again to join us at 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. to get updates on the stories and more details on other stories as they unfold. I am Sarah also, and to have a fantastic day.